In a tiny, bustling town lived a little character named Pip. Pip wasn't the strongest, the fastest, or the smartest, but he had a dream bigger than anyone could imagine. He wanted to build the most magnificent, awe-inspiring clock the world had ever seen. The townsfolk would often chuckle, "A clock, Pip? You can barely lift a hammer." But their words only fueled his determination. Pip's workshop was a humble little shed, cluttered with gears, springs, and blueprints he'd drawn himself. Every morning, before the sun even thought about rising, Pip was already at his workbench. His first attempts were, well, a disaster. Gears would grind, springs would fly across the room, and his delicate clock hands would often snap. He faced failure after failure. Sometimes he'd sit amidst the mess, his little shoulders slumped, feeling the weight of his impossible dream. He could hear the whispers outside, "See? We told you he couldn't do it." It was during one of these low moments that he noticed a spider in the corner of his shed. It was meticulously spinning a web. A sudden gust of wind blew through a crack in the wall, tearing a large hole in the spider's creation. Pip watched, expecting the spider to give up. But it didn't. Without a moment's hesitation, it started repairing the damage, patiently reweaving each strand. The next day, Pip saw the web was complete again, stronger and more intricate than before. A spark ignited within Pip. He looked at his own pile of broken parts and saw not failure, but lessons. He realized that every broken gear taught him about pressure, every snapped spring taught him about tension. His calloused hands weren't just sore, they were experienced. So he started again. This time he didn't rush. He took his time with each tiny component. He learned to listen to the metal, to feel the balance of each gear. He studied the spider, marveling at its persistence. He broke his huge, complicated blueprint into hundreds of tiny, manageable steps. One gear, then the next, then connect them. It was slow, painstaking work. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The seasons changed outside his dusty window. The town grew, children were born, and still, Pip toiled. The townsfolk had almost forgotten about Pip and his silly dream. He became a quiet, constant presence. The gentle asterisk, tink 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 asterisk from his shed, a familiar background noise. He no longer heard their doubts. He only heard the rhythm of his own work. He celebrated small victories, a perfectly balanced escapement wheel, a smoothly ticking pendulum. He learned to be patient with himself, just as the spider was patient with its web. One day, a new sound echoed from Pip's shed. It wasn't the usual asterisk tink-tink-tink asterisk. It was a deep, resonant asterisk, tick-talk asterisk. It was steady, strong, and confident. The sound grew louder, and a crowd began to gather. They peeked into the shed, their eyes widening in disbelief. There, in the center of the room, stood Pip's clock. It was magnificent. It wasn't just a machine to tell time. It was a work of art. Carved wooden figures danced on the hour. Tiny metal birds sang on the half hour, and the moon and stars rotated in perfect harmony with the night sky. The face of the clock glowed with a soft, warm light, and its hands, once so fragile, moved with grace and purpose. It was more beautiful than anyone could have ever imagined. Pip, now a bit older, with silver streaks in his hair and a permanent smile etched on his face, stood beside his creation. He wasn't looking for applause or recognition. He was just looking at his dream, made real. The townsfolk were silent, not with skepticism, but with awe. The person who had once laughed now looked at Pip with respect. The one who had doubted now saw the power of unwavering dedication. The clock became the heart of the town. Its chimes marked the passing of time, a constant reminder of what one small person with a big dream and an even bigger work ethic could achieve. Pip's story wasn't just about building a clock. It was about building a life, piece by piece, failure by failure, success by success. It was a story that showed everyone that the biggest dreams aren't built on talent or luck alone. They are built on the foundation of hard work, the resilience to get up after you fall, and the quiet courage to keep going, one tiny tick at a time. And every time the clock chimed, it was a song of inspiration, a melody of persistence, a testament to the beautiful, powerful magic of never giving up. Thanks for watching.